Hi, CorasAtHerCorner here. Today I want to get into the scam that is apparently a reason why a fan went into a rage and decided to attack WWE wrestler Seth Rollins on Monday Night Raw that aired November 22nd, 2021. I want to break this video down into a few sections, and I'm going to put the timestamps down below. We're going to go over what happened, then the scam behind what led to that event, my personal experience with this scam, and bring awareness to if you come across a scam like this. Now, November 22nd, Raw was live in Brooklyn, New York, and it was the Fallout show to the Survivor Series pay-per-view that had happened the night before. Seth Rollins had a match with Finn Balor, one of my personal faves, and everything went as normal, as planned, I guess you could say as scripted, and Finn Balor laying on their mat, playing, possum, he's injured, poor guy, and Seth Rollins goes to walk backstage like he's supposed to. In the middle of the ramp, we were actually watching this live. I turned my head for a second, and my husband had noticed something. He's like, did a fan just attack Seth? And I look up and I'm like seeing Finn, and I was like, I just see Finn. What are you talking about? And he's like, rewind, because we have a DVR and all that fun stuff. So rewound. If you look, you can see real quickly a fan come from the crowd, tackle him to the ground, and then that's it. Show just goes straight to Finn Balor. You see him laying there like, oh, what's going on? Ow. So WWE tried to prevent the camera from seeing this. Now, from what we have seen from footage all over the internet after this had aired, you have fan videos all over the place. So what happened was they had seen him, somebody had caught footage of him jumping the rail, and he tackled Seth to the ground. And Seth, you can see, was trying to struggle out from underneath him while security went and surrounded him until Seth got free. Now, if you listen to the fans very closely, they're chanting, "F him up." Yeah, that sounds about right. And there was even a little bit of a picture shown of his wife, who is Becky Lynch. She was peeking from, you could see her little bit of silhouette coming from the entrance to see if her husband was okay without having to interfere. But Seth is all right. The only injury he had suffered was swelling on the lip, and my husband told me, he goes, he probably got that from Finn. And I said to him, possibility, because he had blood coming from his mouth right before. Now, the scam behind this is what happened with this guy. He had shown on social media pictures, the screenshots of interactions with Seth Rollins. But really, I know personally, it's not Seth Rollins. Anybody, who is more aware of scams knows it wasn't. But what happened was, back in 2019, this guy had met Seth Rollins backstage. Because WWE did this thing, especially before the whole world went to crap in 2020. They would have fans buy passes. They'd go backstage, meet the stars, greet them, get their autographs, maybe a hug, talk a little bit with their favorite superstars, and then next fan. Around this time, this guy got a message from, I'm not sure what social media, but he got a message through social media. And coincidentally, he had just met Seth Rollins and really thought that Seth Rollins was trying to contact him, knowing that Seth Rollins, it's weird saying his name a million times, it's like I'm trying to call him like Beetlejuice. His real name is Colby Lopez. I would imagine if he were to try to contact this guy, it would either be through his verified account or through a secret account going by Colby. Even this guy knew that Seth's real name was Colby. But honestly, they see so many fans a day and so many people a day. From my experience just as a cashier, I don't see as many people as they do. I've had people come up to me, like, when I was not even new anymore, going, you're my favorite cashier. I'm like, cool, I don't remember you. I would never tell them that, that's mean. I love Becky Lynch, and if I were to ever meet her, I would imagine she would probably not remember my face if I were to see her a year later. It's natural. With them being as big of like a sports star or celebrity, whatever you want to consider them, superstar is what they are with WWE standards. It's, you know, more than likely they're never really going to contact you through social media. But the scammer got a hold of him. Now, from what I have seen, the guy did not put all the screenshots on there. Now, if I was going to expose the scam myself, I'm going to show every screenshot. You know, people need to be aware of what's going on. And the thing is, this goes back to the new internet days where, you know, people catfishing, you know, would talk with anybody without even realizing who they're talking to. And, you know, as the internet grew older, more people became aware of how to tell, you know, okay, this person's not real. You know, like this, because there's no verified check. Yeah. I mean, yeah, whatever. So going through it, I'm trying to figure out what exactly he did. But according to this article, Seth, we're going to call this just the scammer because this isn't Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins would never do this. He's got his family, his daughter and wife, and other family members, and I guarantee friends, you know, because celebrities have friends just like we do too. They're just not famous friends. It's normal, natural. So this guy called this called it a business deal gone bad. So I'm not exactly sure what this scammer had told him. But the thing is though too, I'm looking at this, with Seth, I think they actually used his picture. A picture you can, guess what, find online. That's the fun thing about celebrities, sports stars and all that. You can find them online. But he had, yeah, this is the reason why, and we used to be cool until a business deal went the wrong way. I guess, you know, the scammer asked for money. I'm not sure, through a gift card at first. But it seems like, you know, the scammer was, I need to activate my Google account. This scammer did a little bit of research. I need to activate my Google account. I can't get in touch with Becky. So will you get me that in a few mint? I have a reward for you. Like, you can tell by the spelling and everything, I don't think Seth would really write that. And I have no more money because I paid for my ticket and I'm on my rides. And then the scammer starts calling him words. How much you got your ticket? I paid $284. You know, it's like, but I guess the scammer asked for money, said that they couldn't get a hold of Becky and that they needed him to send something. So I don't know if he sent, people are going to read this article, actually read through it and be like, you didn't read through the article, did you? Yeah, I skimmed through it, okay. So, I don't know if he sent, yeah, because the scammer here asks, you $500 out of it get Amazon card. So I think what he asked for was an Amazon gift card, and then he wanted to send the guy a check. And then once that check was cashed, send some of that money to a friend. He said the rest you will send to my friend, okay? And he says, I will. And what friend? And then this scammer automatically gets defensive, saying, why are you asking? Can't I have a friend anymore? Like, Seth Rollins, I don't think would act like that. Just listen to my word. He was getting aggressive. The scammers will get aggressive when they are trying to get money from you. But the big thing was, this was the check scam, where he was going to send him a check, and then, oh, you send some money to my friend, and that money gets sent to somebody to find out it's a bad check. You owe the money back to the bank. If you look through the screenshots, you can see that the scammer was pushing him to cash that check. You know, is like, that's when I was about to deposit it and the ATM didn't allow, or because of the line in the check. So I went to the front desk and she said I will get it in 2 to 3 business days if I bank with them. Exactly, here you are raging for no reason. So the scammer was going off on him for some reason, when I be telling you the truth. You expect your fans to love you, and that's how you lose them. It's how you treat people, big bro. Like, honestly, I don't know what kind of person the real Seth Rollins really is. But with his fans, he's either going to play the bad guy, or I think, you know, going backstage and stuff, he's going to be nice to his fans. Because, I mean, yeah, I don't know what kind of person he is, but, you know, I'm pretty sure having fans, you gotta love them. See, okay. How are you going to deposit the check now? Like, this scammer pushed to deposit this check. After this check did get deposited, it came back as fraudulent. I guess he says his bae, so I'm guessing his significant other, more likely girlfriend, I don't know, went and cashed the check, and she got arrested for fraud. And he lost money on that as well, I guarantee. Even the other check fake. So I guess he did more than one checks from what I'm seeing. And then the guy got enraged when the scammer eventually ghosted him. Because that's what a scammer's going to do. They're going to take your money and then they're going to forget about you. Because all they want is your money. Now, I don't know when the scammer ghosted him. Because once 2020 hit, because of the whole thing going on with the world, WWE shut their doors for fans, but they still continued on wrestling. This was a very controversial topic because people were like, you know, this isn't essential, you know, you're putting people at risk. And this is, from what I heard, one of the reasons why Roman Reigns had not showed up for quite a long time, because he was supposed to headline WrestleMania that year, and Braun Strowman had taken his place. Because from what I hear, I hear so many rumors every day. Half of them come from my husband. I'm a stay-at-home mom, please forgive me. But I heard that he had twins, and you know, he didn't want to bring anything home with him and affect them if, you know, somebody were to get it there, and people did. But then as time went on, they went from letting wrestlers hang out in the crowd for a little bit that were people who were training in the training center. And then eventually they went to the Thunderdome, which people would sign in online. Fans would get on the screen, cheer their favorite wrestler. And some even got in trouble and banned. Surprise, surprise, Mr. McMahon. You should have seen that coming. During 2020, he had no chance to go and rage against Seth Rollins. So when they did go back to Brooklyn, New York, that's when he did the attack. The police questioned him, and this is the scam that he brought up, where it's a fake check scam, and he really thought Seth Rollins had scammed him. Now, there are rumors going around. There's so many reports. I did hear, you know, that he may not be mentally capable of understanding what's going on. I don't know if that's true. You know, and all I'd have to say is, you know, if you feel something's wrong with you, you're depressed, you're not thinking right, the only thing I will say about that, you feel like you need help, please seek professional help. Because let me tell you a secret, okay? I had to. I suffer from PTSD. You're not alone. Now moving on to what my experience was. When I got this scam to come along to my Facebook page, I was very well aware of scamming and how they worked. This was probably around October of 2020, so the fans are not physically there, but they're there in the Thunderdome. I was getting excited for Sasha Banks versus Bayley. I think it's because Bayley had that title for over a year, and Sasha had never held the SmackDown Women's Championship. Now, this would be a big deal for her because that would make her a Grand Slam champion. And this includes she held the Raw Women's Championship quite a few times, though her reigns didn't last very long there. And she also held the Women's Tag Team Championships, along with the NXT Championship once for the women's, if you didn't know. I was super excited, and WWE had posted stuff on their website when Sasha had won the belt. I was super excited, happy for her, because she did actually deserve this for all the hard work she had gone through, the mental health that she had to go through, as there was a whole incident with another wrestler that goes by Paige. And she does wonderful. I'm a big fan of hers as well. So I posted a comment on, I think it was WWE's Facebook page. I'm like, I'm so happy for her, blah, 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 blah. You know, I posted something like that. You know, it's so awesome that she won, blah, blah, blah. That or it was on her official Facebook page. I don't remember, but it was one of those two. So then I get a comment from an account that says Sasha Banks. And they said something along the lines, responded to my comment that said, "Thank you for supporting me so much, and I love my fans," and, you know, blah, 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 blah. I looked at it. There's no check there for official account or anything like that. I'm like, it's just a catfish or it's an actual scammer. I was like, I'm just gonna leave it alone because I know where Sasha's real page is at. There's that check mark of authenticity. I'm just gonna stick with, I know where to find Sasha's Facebook page at least. So a little time goes by and I look into my possible spam messages and I get a message saying, "Thank you so much for being a fan, blah 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 blah," from Sasha, from Sasha Banks. Go figure. And I'm like, I was like, I probably should mess with this one, just to mess with them. So I'm like, yeah, I love, you know, your wrestling, you're one of my favorites. And one of the questions she asked me was, have you ever been to one of my shows? And this, like I said, this was the time where the Thunderdome was going on and nobody was there physically. I'm like, yeah, I was there last week. You did great. Apparently the scammer did not do their research. They're like, oh, you know, it's so wonderful. So the next step this scammer went with me was, oh, just so you know, I have something, I wish I could look back on this, but the account is gone. Therefore, the messages are all gone. But they said something along the lines of, well, I really would like to talk to you about something, or along the lines somewhere, you know, can you get a hold of me on WhatsApp? And I'm thinking, first of all, I don't know how WhatsApp works. I've never used it. I guess I should invest my time in checking it out. But I didn't want to do that at the time because I didn't want to mess with the scammer not knowing what I was going into. And I told her, I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. I don't have that. I don't have WhatsApp. I don't know how to use it. And she's like, oh, just sign up with your phone number. We can talk. Come on. The scammer was trying to push me to do it. And I'm like, no, I can't. I'm like, but we could talk here. And she's like, no, we can't talk here. We got to go to WhatsApp. I'm like, no. We need to talk here. So eventually the person stopped bugging me and I reported the page. Facebook's like, oh, you know, there's nothing wrong with this page. Like, sure. But eventually the page did get deleted. More about this scam, I guess you would call it the catfish scammer. They pretend to be more than just a WWE superstar. There are some out there impersonating. I've seen one impersonating Snoop Dogg, another one impersonating Mr. Beast. There's ones where they want to get your Cash App info. I do not know how it works. I don't have Cash App. I don't want to dig deep with it without going in and searching first. Things to look out for and to prevent from being scammed from this. If you ever get a message from somebody who's apparently famous, they always will have that blue check mark that says, yes, this is the official page. So if you get a message from Kit Boga, Sasha Banks, Brad Pitt, and there's no blue check mark there, it's not them. Now, if there is a blue check mark there, that's very impossible to impersonate. It is possible on TikTok, I have seen, but it's very hard to do from what I'm told. And so that's what makes it easier to tell, okay, yeah, they're not messaging me. Even Dr. Phil has exposed scams like this before, but it goes back to the romance scam. I saw the one episode with Jeffrey Dean Morgan where she thought she was dating him. And of course, there's no blue check mark there, nothing. She sent him pretty much her life savings, which is pretty sad and it sucks. But always look for that check mark of authenticity. I've had somebody message me from Instagram to Facebook pretending to be my friend. And he had already made this announcement, this person's impersonating me, blah, 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 blah. And I did get the message right after that, so I knew it wasn't him. I said, hey, is this the account that's bugging you? And he's like, yeah. Now, I have a ton of screenshots and stuff. I hope I still have, because I can do a whole video on that just because for fun. But it'd take a lot of work, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. But he got the satisfaction knowing that I was messing with them. I've even had a TikToker impersonator try to bug me on TikTok, and I found her official page through one of the comments saying, please stop impersonating me. I let her know, since we weren't friends on TikTok, I let her know through the comments, her fans through the comments, hey, this is what's going on. This is her official page right here. Do not add them as a friend on TikTok because they're trying to get you to go to WhatsApp. You know, she was very happy that I made it well aware, and she thought it was funny I was messing with them too, and I said it was my job. Other ways to look out for and prevent from getting scammed by this is the way they spell. Scammers are bad spellers for some reason. I don't know if they do it on purpose or what, or if it's the fact that majority of them are not perfect English speakers, so they're not going to be perfect English papers. Editing Cora here. I just want to add that sometimes scammers can have perfect messaging and stuff because they do speak the English language. So really you never know, but majority of the time you will notice there are misspellings. I also want to add to another thing to look out for is if you're talking to somebody over a social media site and they want to lure you away from that site to talk somewhere else. Majority of the time that's a scammer, such as going from Facebook to, oh, let's go on to WhatsApp. A way to prevent from getting scammed by scammers like this, if you see them message you, don't message them back. Just report their page and block them. That's like the biggest thing you can do. If you do somehow end up falling for the scam, try to get a hold of the authorities as soon as possible, though most of the time they won't do anything about it. It's better to let other people know what's going on, what they can look out for. Hopefully this community of scam baiters can end up expanding even more. With scam baiters growing, hopefully more people are aware of all the scams that are going on. If you think somebody might be talking to a scammer like this, a catfish scammer, and you know they don't want to listen, maybe send them this video and hopefully it will help. Please, all of you out there, just be aware, be safe. You are loved. Thank you very much. I love you guys. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and I will hopefully have a new video up on Thursday, if not Friday, because life is getting a little shaken up right now with babysitting. Maybe I can get the oldest one involved. Hope to see you soon. Love you. You're welcome.